Hello everyone, welcome back to Edexcel Science channel. And now we are at question 3 from 2026 June IAL Physics Unit 3 paper from Edexcel. Question number 3 is saying, a student made an electrical cell by inserting two rods into a lemon as shown. One rod was made from copper, which is this one. The other rod was made from an unknown metal, which is this one. The student placed the cell in a circuit as shown. So this is the lemon cell, which is connected to an emitter, and this is a variable resistor, and this is our switch. The student adjusted the resistance of the variable resistor to its maximum value. He closed the switch and recorded corresponding values of potential difference and current. He repeated this procedure for different settings of the variable resistor. Explain why the student started with the variable resistor at its maximum value. So when you face this question, the first question that should come to your mind is, what is the purpose of a variable resistor? Or more simply, what is the purpose of a resistor? The purpose of a resistor is to control the flow of current. And the purpose of a variable resistor is to control the resistance itself. So you can increase the resistance or decrease the resistance instead of a fixed resistor, which has a fixed resistance. Okay. So why would the student set the resistance of the variable resistor to its maximum value? The simplest reason is that to give minimum current. If resistance is max, that means current must be minimum, right? But now they're asking us to explain why. The reason being is that we do not know what type of metal this is. So we might have a high amount of current which might break the circuit or break the emitter. Okay, so this is going to be my answer. So my first point is to give minimum current, and then to explain it further, to protect the circuit from short circuit, and the emitter. So you're protecting the circuit from short circuit, and you are also protecting the emitter. Moving on to question number B. The student recorded the following data to plot a graph. So the student have collected potential difference and the corresponding current value in milliamps. So criticize the recording of the data. So clearly, the first thing that comes to my eye that I notice is this one. All the values have two decimal places, right? But this particular one has three significant figures, which is inconsistent. Another thing that I notice is that it doesn't show, like this graph doesn't, this data doesn't show any proof of repeat readings. So what the student might have done is that when he found that the potential difference is 0.37, he took the current value and then he moved on. Okay, he didn't take multiple readings and then took a mean value. Okay, um, and then he only took four sets of data to plot a graph. Four sets will produce a pattern, but it is still incomplete. It is not enough. Okay. Another thing that may escape your eyes, but it is still fine if you can answer the other three, which is that if you notice this current value at voltage 0.74 does not actually follow the trend. See, these are increasing, okay, but this one increased by a lot, right? So the jump is very high, so it is not following the pattern. So let me now write the answers. So my first answer is inconsistent decimal places for current, and then only 4 sets of value. Another point is that there is no evidence of repeat readings. Okay. And you can also write the last one that current at potential difference 0.7 volts does not follow the trend. Okay. So you can write any three of these. Moving on to question D2. The student determined that the EMF of the lemon cell is 1.13. He estimated that the uncertainty in his value of the EMF is 5%. Okay, that is okay. So the EMF is given by this equation where C is a constant that depends on the metal of the rod. C for zinc is negative 0.74 volts. Deduce whether the unknown metal could be zinc. So guys, what is the problem with this uncertainty? What is the what is the application of this uncertainty? So the value of the EMF that we have found is 1.13. But they are saying that there is an uncertainty in this value, meaning that the original value or the real value of the EMF might be 5% more than 1.13, or it might be 5% less than 1.13. So there is going to be a maximum value, right? And there can be a minimum value, and this creates a range. So our real value, our original value is within this range, but we just do not know which one is the real one because there is again an uncertainty. So what I want to do right now is I want to find out the minimum possible value of the EMF and the maximum possible value of the EMF. Then I will plug it, I will rearrange this equation and make C my subject. Then I will find out different values of C to find out if it is really zinc or not. So let's do it, guys. So to find out the maximum value, so let's say this is EMF max, it's going to be 1.13 plus 5% of 1.13, which is going to give you 1.19. And to find out the minimum value, you'll just have to subtract 5%. So 5% of 1.13, which is going to be 1.07. So the value that I have found or the student have found is 1.13, but it can be 1.19 or it can be also 1.07, right? This is the range that has been produced because of the uncertainty. Now I will rearrange my equation, this one, to make C my subject since I have to find out C, right? So C is basically 0.3 minus the EMF. So one possible value of C is 0.3 minus the minimum value, right? And Another possible value of C is 0.3 minus the maximum value. So if you do this, the value that you get from here is negative 0.77, and the value you get from here is negative 0.89. Now, if you notice, guys, none of this value is close to negative 0.74. So we are not sure if it is zinc. Okay, so we can just say that it is not zinc. All right, so that is it for question number B, guys. Um, this type of question is very common. All the time you have to find out the maximum possible value and the minimum possible value. So keep that in mind. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps me, guys. Since the channel is growing, I pray for your support. That is it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.